Welcome to the Cook's Domain. This is probably going to be my shortest video. How to make pilau rice. This is rice for the Indian cuisine. They have different types of rices, but this is the one that's most popular, the one that's most served, and it's definitely the one I mostly have when I have my curries. So this isn't going to take long at all. Very simple instruction. And if you do exactly how I state, which isn't my way of doing it, I've just learned it from other people, it will be perfect every single time. So yeah, pilau rice, nice and simple, and very simple rules. If you're going to use volume to figure out your rice to water ratio, then for every cup of rice, you need 1.75 cups of water, because most people use a 2-to-1 ratio, and that's not quite right if you're using volume. It will be too soggy and your rice will become mushy. And to try and be accurate with your measurements, so if you're using volume, for every cup of rice, 1.75 cups water. If you're going to use weight, then for every 100 grams of rice, you want 200 grams of water. And I think that is where the whole 2-to-1 ratio comes from, because with weight it is 2-to-1, but if you're using volume it isn't, and that's because of density and space taken up by things, you know, in your cup or whatever it is that you're measuring your volume with. Okay, the next tip very quickly is, so I've got my 200 grams of basmati rice here that I'm going to use. And this must be washed. There's whole debates online as to whether washing rice is a good idea or not, or what its purpose is. And it has nothing to do with health or cleanliness or anything like that. Pretty much rice comes quite clean. But if you think it doesn't, give all rice a wash. But this needs a lot of washing, because it depends on what kind of consistency, texture we're trying to get to. So if we want fluffy rice, it needs to be washed. And I will wash this 3 times. I'm going to pour it into a bowl, a bigger bowl. I'm going to fill it with water. I'm going to use my fingers to swirl it around and really, like, almost scrubbing each grain, if you will. I'm going to drain it. I'm going to put fresh water in. I'm going to do it again, and I'll do that 2-3 times. And that's to eliminate all of the free starch that's on these rice kernels, so I can get a nice fluffy rice. You wouldn't do this, for example, with the kind of rice you would use to make a risotto. You want that sticky, gluey aspect to a rice like that. Or if you're making, you know, like an Asian sticky rice, for example, you don't want to wash that rice too much. But this we want to wash. We want to wash it a lot. Okay, so once we have washed our rice and thoroughly washed it, and there's no more cloudiness in the water, and it's crystal clear, we're now ready to cook it. So we put it back into our pot, and we can add our water. So it's either 1 3/4 by volume or twice by weight of water. We want to add to that 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric. We want to add 2 cloves, small piece of cinnamon or cassia bark, and 2 cracked cardamom pods. Give that a quick stir. Okay, now we just want to put it on high heat, and we add a little salt, not a lot, 1/2 teaspoon. Mix that in also. So we're using cold water, and we want to get it to a boil, but the moment we see it boil is when we take the next step. Okay, as we can see, the bubbles have started to form, and all we have to do is so easy. Just put a lid on, turn the heat right down to the lowest setting, and set a timer for 18 minutes, and your rice will be ready. That's all you do. No stirring, no nothing, just leave it like that, 18 minutes on the lowest setting. And there we have it, our delicious pilau rice. Fluffy and tender, full of flavour, absolutely delicious. And it's going to go so well with any curry. Now let's give it a go. Let's give it a little taste. Wow, That is, okay, it's rice, people. It's good rice. It's sweet, like basmati always is. It's got that nice salty taste at the back there. The turmeric, thankfully, isn't giving away any strong bittery flavors. It's just really good pilau rice. Anyway, like always, thank you for watching.